som tam, a dish of spice, acidity, sweetness. We've moved from the heights of Clapham and we're now cooking in the heart of Pattaya, Thailand. With the good help of Nika, an amazing Thai chef that I met out here, we've been able to pin down an amazing recipe for som tam and bring it to you. Green papaya, Thai chili, long bean, tamarind, peanut. Let's get it. Now the first thing you start with is these green papayas. They're grown on the trees around Thailand. There are a few different varieties, but these are the ones you're looking for. Long, bulbous, firm, with a little bit of residue on the outside. That is what you want. Now, peeling it, if you've got a normal speed peeler at home, that'll do fine. Top off and the bottom off, and you just take long shaves down the papaya, just going onto the board. Take some clean water and you just wash that over the outside of the papaya. And the reason you do that is because after you've peeled it, it gets this like milky residue on the outside of the papaya. It's all the starch, it's all the defense mechanisms coming out of that papaya and trying to heal the wounds that you've just created, because this thing is alive, picked straight off the tree. Now the traditional technique to cut this papaya is probably not one that I would recommend for you guys to use at home straight away. Get yourself a sharp knife, and with the tang, that's the bottom of the knife, up to about halfway, you're cutting in and creating these tiny little slices into the papaya. And then with your finger as a guide, then you slice off to get that iconic shaved green papaya. Now Nika did teach me how to do this. I have been practicing a little bit, but it is an art form. It takes years to get right. Now, unlike the papayas back home, these don't really tend to have any white seeds in, but if they do, and you do expose that inside cavity, be sure to get the end of a cocktail stick or potentially even the end of a spoon in there, give it a little shake about and get those seeds out, because they're bitter and they're not what we want going in this salad. Now you've ended up with this beautifully shaved, rustic slices of papaya that are perfect for this som tam. I'll stick that in the fridge. Now the next part of the som tam story is all about the dressing. We're going to start with these tiny little cloves of garlic. Garlic cloves so small, they slip out of my fingers. I've only ever seen these in Thailand, but they've got an amazing pungence, an amazing flavour. Get those straight into your som tam pumla. This is basically a big pestle and mortar. They're on sale widely across Thailand. It's kind of like a china pot with ribs and ridges around the inside. And they use this, a pestle, to punch down and infuse all those flavours together. So we start with garlic and then palm sugar. Good couple of tablespoons of this straight into the bottom of the pot. So we get the sugar in the bottom of the bowl with the garlic, and then we've got this charut, MSG, widely used in Asia. Absolutely delicious. Straight into the bowl. This is where personal preference comes into it. You can have it hot. The Thais over here will have at least 20 chilies in their som tam. For me, I go with 2. So top off and they go straight in. And this is when we get to use our bat. We're going to start to crush and bash all these ingredients together to create the base of that stunning som tam. And you'll see these up and down the street on the back of motorcycles, all making their som tam this way. But I'm using the ribs and the ridges up the side of this pestle to sort of crush and infuse all those flavors together. The moisture in the palm sugar starts to release, mix with the juice from the chili and the garlic, and it creates this stunning fragrant paste, which is the base for our som tam. Now these long beans, they're kind of like French beans. They're a little bit softer, a little bit grassier. They go stunning in this dish. So down onto the board, and you slice about 2-inch pieces, and those long beans straight in. The reason we put the long beans in now is because we want to crush them slightly. We want to release a little bit of their flavour. Half bitter, grassy freshness you get into the base of that som tam. Now I'm happy with the garlic, I'm happy with the chili, I'm happy with the infusion that's going on in there at the moment. Now we're adding liquid. Tomatoes, we just cut roughly. These little tomatoes are a little bit off red. They're called grape tomatoes and they're traditional for som tam. Limes onto the board, and we're going around the middle because the limes in Thailand are full of seeds. So you cut off 4 of your cheeks, get that middle bit squeezed in, and then discard. And as rustic as it looks, the flavour extraction is paramount. So when these limes go in, and as we pound and crush this together, the oils and the essence from that lime zest will extract, mix with the juice, mix with the chili, and mix with the sugar that's in there, and create the base for that stunning som tam dressing. Tomatoes in. Because we've got moisture in there now, if we were to just smash away with this big thing, you'd end up with a bit of a mess. So we get a metal spoon, we move in unison and start to toss and break those ingredients together. We're gonna add a touch of tamarind. Now, sour tamarind is generally what they use in Thailand for their cooking. I've got this from the market. This is a mix of sour and sweet, a good balanced base to hit in this som tam. Now with the lime, the tamarind, the sugar, this story isn't complete without the addition of fish sauce. Super salty, super fragrant. These tiny little dried shrimps, the heads, the tails, go straight in. Then we go peanuts, pre-roasted and halved as much as you want. Taste for seasoning, bit of a kick. The sweetness is there. The punch from the garlic, the chili, the rawness of the bean, and the saltiness and roundness of that tamarind and fish sauce, all working in 100% harmony to make an absolutely banging dressing for this papaya salad. Straight into the bowl. One last toss. Last thing to do is take the mortar in your hand, get your serving dish, and then pour out. And that's it, absolutely delicious. The aroma from that roasted peanut, the saltiness from the fish sauce, the umami hit you get from those tiny little dried prawns. This is an amazing dish, worked through the ages and taught to me by a very, very good chef here in Thailand, Chef Nika. An absolute pleasure to cook it and an absolute pleasure to be in the heart of where this dish was born. My stunning som tam, rich with chili, garlic, palm sugar, the crushed notes of those long beans, the hit of tomato, the zest of lime, wrapped around that stunning shaved green papaya, with the hint of peanut and the umami coming from those beautifully dried prawns. My stunning som tam here in the heart of Thailand. Thank you.